What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? I see we got Mr. James Dockery in here. We got Great Outdoors Exploring. This is my first live stream officially, I guess. I talked about it in the past, didn't have a good night to go on and do one. So, with this whole COVID-19 thing, um, I decided that, hey, Sundays are a good evening. Um, to pop on here and do something. And to my knowledge, I didn't know of anybody else who had a show. And one of the things I didn't want to do is step on somebody else's show. So I just want to welcome everybody. Hey, Patriot James, how you doing? So what are we talking about tonight? Well, one thing I just wanted to talk about was the life of a novice YouTuber. Um, I am a novice YouTuber. What do I categorize as a novice YouTuber? Well, someone who doesn't do it for money. Um, I believe that whenever you're paid for something, that is the point at which you become a pro. So I am not a pro, even in the angler division. I am not a pro. So that's what we're going to be talking about. All the questions I hope will be aimed around that. All my conversation will be aimed around how to get started, what I'm doing, and what's something that you're doing that could possibly help me, and what I'm doing that could possibly help you. So I'm also going to be interactive. I want to make sure that I answer all the questions, acknowledge people in here, give shout outs, just like some of the guys already in here, like Patriot James, who he plugs everybody. So I'm going to do that for everybody as well. So let's see who we got. We got Maurice in here, Kentucky Catfishing, Pond Predator Nation, Great Outdoors. James Dockery was the first one in. Had a good time talking to you the other night, Bubba. So thank you for coming in. Maurice Cason. Hey, Maurice, I want to show you something. Tell me what you think. This is the hat I'm going to send you. It's a fitted hat, but it's pretty big. It's a large, extra large. So I hope you don't have a tiny noggin, but I hope you like that one. That's what I'm going to send you, buddy. So Maurice has been asking me for a hat, and a lot of people have. So I've run out, except for that. That's my last one that I don't wear. So I'm gonna get that to you as soon as possible. See KB Anglers in here. See Team Keeping It Real. Maurice get Stephen Hare. KB. Did I shout everybody at Nitro Whisker Catfishing? All right. So welcome everybody. I think I shouted everybody out I've seen so far. Awesome. So life of a novice YouTuber. So my full-time job, if you didn't already know, is I'm a high school assistant principal. And if you hear the dog barking in the background, it's because I am a novice YouTuber. I don't have a studio. I don't have a shop. This is real life, people. And I have to expect to have the dog walk in here. So if I say the name Olive, that's my dog. So it's real life, real life. I'm going to take this ticker down. So she's probably going to do that for a while, so I apologize for that. So I don't have a studio. I'm in a bedroom in my house. I am a high school assistant principal. At a local high school in South Carolina. So I love to fish. I love to talk about fishing. I love to get ready to go fishing. So that's kind of how I got started. My dad and I went fishing far back as I can remember. I remember taking naps in the bottom of his stick steer. He had one of those old stick steer Eldo craft. I guess that's what you call it. Just like a cigar shaped boat, about 14 foot long, and it was a front stick steer. So that means you had a stick that came up, you pushed it forward to go left, and you pulled it back to go right. So, and then you had the throttle on your left, which is your right. I realize I'm backwards, but and then you'd sit in the back. You had a live well in the middle, and that was it. Kind of like some of these little what you call them pond hopper boats. But I didn't know any better. I remember going out for hours and hours shell cracker fishing. That's what we did. We pan fished. bobber fishing with brim busters. Actually, my dad and I went out yesterday. We found a private landing, and we got in at high tide. It's kind of sketchy. We got in at high tide. We went out. We caught uh, 3 or 4 catfish. One of them was 26 pounds. One of them was 17, and the other caught the biggest bullhead I've ever caught. It was a 6 pound bullhead catfish. I thought it was maybe a state record, but my dad laughingly said it wasn't. So anyway, and we used a brim buster. We called a copperhead brim. So those of you who've heard me talk about copperhead brim, not this weekend. This weekend I got a video coming out called Honey Cats. It'll be out on Friday. It's called Honey Cats because my honey is in it. So she caught a nice fish. If you follow my Instagram or Facebook, you probably saw that fish. But anyway, hey, fishing and stuff is in here. Stephen Hare. Did I miss anybody? Man, talking about a profession. If you want to flip the script real quick and talk about a professional YouTuber, that fishing and stuff, man. Keith is great, man. I bought one of his shirts. It's a little tight on me right now, and that's this whole COVID-19 thing, and I'm not going to talk about it a bunch, but man, it's a weight gainer. I'll tell you that. I feel a little chubby. We need to get back out and start walking again. But anyway, I caught a copperhead brim, a nice one, and we fried them up last night. So we caught probably about 10 or 12, what everybody would call bluegill, but it was a mixture of basically just panfish, brim. We caught 2 red breasts and shell cracker, all of that. So anyway, brought it home. My wife fried it up, and that's what we had for dinner. It doesn't get any better than that. But back on topic, the life of a novice YouTuber. That's me. Again, novice is you're not getting paid. You're not even really that good at it. I told you she was going to come in. Let me just go ahead and introduce y'all. This is hey Olive. Come here. That's Olive. Those of you wondering, she is hey Chad. She is a mix between a Great Dane and a boxer. So anyway, yes, fishing and stuff makes great or really good funny videos today. Anyway, so what was I saying? I don't get paid. I don't get paid for YouTube. I'm an assistant principal at a high school, so I fish when I can, and get out there. You're not necessarily good at it. I believe I'm better at editing YouTube videos than I am at making them, actually filming them. But anyway, the struggle that goes along with that, and I'm gonna tell you, being that you don't get to fish a lot, because you're a novice YouTuber, means that whenever you get out, you're already going to forget stuff because you fish every day. You don't fish every other day. You might not even fish every week. So it's a struggle to try to remember to bring everything. I can't tell you how many times I've forgot the net, forgot bait. I forgot the bait. The other day I got halfway down my street. Thankfully it was only halfway down my street, and had to turn back around and get the bait out the freezer that I had. So trying to keep up with taking everything you need just to fish, and then on top of that, charging cameras, making sure that SD cards are in the cameras, making sure that you got your mounts, making sure that you have your power bank and all of that jazz, just adds an extra element. Not to mention, you do all that and then you get out there and I don't know, most people in here have either done YouTube or have watched enough YouTube to know that you don't catch fish every time you go out, or you don't catch enough to make a good video. My rule right now is if I catch 2, I can make a video. I didn't say it was going to be a good video, but again, I'm novice. I'm not getting paid for it. So I'm going to close the door one more time. The door doesn't shut because the frame is, anyway. Um, what was I saying? So, yeah, I love her too, James. She's a good dog. Um, she just wants to know what I'm doing at all times. um, so anyway, if it ever gets to the point to where, you know, I get to like Patriot James or fishing and stuff, or I don't know how many other people in here have YouTube channels that they actually are over 1,000. If it ever gets to that, then I might start thinking about taking it a little more seriously. But it's fun, and as long as it's fun, and my wife gave me that advice. I was stressed out this winter because my boat was being a boat. Um, and then when it was running, uh, I didn't want to go because it's too cold. And yes, I'm a wiener when it comes to the cold. I know you're not going for money, Patriot. I'm just saying, at a point to where it gets over 1,000, where I could make money off of it, then I might take it seriously. Um, that's all I was saying. I understand your position. You're doing it. I know why you're doing it, but you know, I was talking about. I want to make videos. I want to make them, and I want to grow the channel. But I don't want to fish in the cold. I just don't like it. And cold is relative in South Carolina. I think this winter the coldest we got was 15 degrees, and that was like one day. One day. And then, we usually have 1 or 2 weeks of just what we consider bitterly cold, which is for me is below 30 degrees. Um, and I just did not I don't like to go. I don't like to go when it's cold. So she said, I said, maybe I should just stop doing YouTube. If I can't, if I'm too much of a weenie to go fishing, she reminded me, she goes, hey, listen, if you're not having fun, why are you doing it? And I said, yeah, and those of you who don't know me very well, I get in my head all the time. And, thankfully she's been able to even me out over the past 8 or 9 years. And so I, I just decided that, hey, you know what? It is just for fun. If the YouTube channel is meant to grow, and God wants it to grow, and it turns into something to where you know I can make money off of it, or and that's for me, that would be cool to make a little bit of extra money. Hey, Mr. Lyle, how are you? If I can make a little bit of extra money off of it, that would be cool. Probably what I would do is kind of like what a couple other YouTubers do, is they just pour it right back into the channel. They buy better gear, they buy better cameras, they do all that because that's fun. I like the process. I like getting that good shot. Um, One thing that I like about my videos, and it's not being conceited, but I like the fact that most of the time, hey Pop, most of the time I get the takedown, and that's what attracted me. Steve Douglas is the king of takedown, or was the starter king of takedown, and I guess his wife was just at the right place, or right time, or maybe he, saw the rod do something before she turned on the camera. Um, because I don't believe they had a camera running the whole time. Um, but he got that takedown, and man, especially when he was just bumping off the bottom, or drifting, and he had a suspended rig, and that rod would just bow over and go straight into the water where the tip was under the water. Oh man, that just that's what really made me want to start filming stuff. I want to see that. I want to do that. I've gotten some pretty good ones, but I haven't got that one. The video coming out on Friday, man. Uh, the video coming on Friday, we have two takedowns that are drag screamers. Now the drag was set a little bit loose because I didn't want them to pull the rod out of the boat. But man, it's cool. And one one of the pull downs, or believe it was the second one. I'm like, oh my god, because I couldn't believe it happened again. But it was pretty cool. And then yesterday, I got my dad. My dad had a takedown. We actually caught. I caught one in the front of the boat, and as soon as I hooked into that one, took his down, and he's back there. I'm gonna have a lot of bleeps in that video. There's gonna be a lot of burps and psh and cymbal splashes and all that. Um, I don't want all that profanity in there. And my dad gets excited, as he should. He gets excited. So anyway, I'm starting to get dry mouth talking so much. Anybody have any questions? I see you got some talking going in here. I saw somebody was commenting. She is, Chad. My wife is really supportive. I actually was getting the boat ready because we're going out in the morning, and I got a squeaky trailer, and she came out, and every time it bounces, it's like metal rubbing together, and I know what it is. I just didn't know exactly where it was. So I got up under the trailer, and she bounced on the boat, and so I can identify where it was. It's coming from a bolt that attached to one of the springs. But and then I'm walking around the house, and I said, you know what? I talked about thanks to Avid Fisherman. I was on live on his show on Friday night, and he's been talking to me, and other people have been talking to me about maybe doing a live show, but I don't want to step on anybody's toes. And I just said, I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm just going to take the computer back there. I didn't really plan on it all day. Just took the computer back here in the office and set it up, and here we are. So if it goes well, I'll do it again. If it doesn't, my life isn't any different from when I started. But yeah, Chad, she's very supportive. She's actually, I'm lucky too because my wife's a runner, and it shows. She just ran. The Cooper River Bridge Run is a huge run, a 10K down here in Charleston, South Carolina, and it was supposed to be yesterday, but with the COVID-19, it was canceled. So her and one of our church friends ran a 10K in the neighborhood. So I was really proud of her for that. And she gardens. She has a little YouTube channel called Little Buckets of Sunshine. She doesn't like the editing process, so she's got one or two videos up, and we haven't made one because winter came, and we're just waiting on this growing season. So be looking out for that. If you like gardening, we just have a small backyard, and she does it basically out of 5-gallon buckets. Let's see. Just do your videos and have fun with it. Yeah, man. Yep. Mm-hmm. Keith, I'll tell my wife thank you. I'm not sure what for, but I will. I tell her thank you every day. Chad, you should start doing videos of what not to. Yeah, I'm telling you. Yesterday we had one of like this private landing I told you about, so it was okay putting in. It was a landing we used to use. It used to have like a yacht club, bar, tackle shop, restaurant on it, and it was in our neighborhood, or still is in our neighborhood, my dad's neighborhood, and we used to go to that. It was so close we could hitch the boat up to the 4-wheeler and ride it down to the landing and put in. But for whatever reason, it was closed and torn down, and now it's just a rundown lot. And when the governor closed all the public ramps, what am I going to do with all this free time? I need to fish, and so we found that one we put in, and my brother owns some land right next to it, so we parked the truck and trailer on the land and went out for about 6-8 hours, came back, and the tide was so low that we barely got the boat out. The boat actually went on the trailer cockeyed, and when we got to the house, we had to get a floor jack and jack up the back of it to get it on the trailer. So that landing is out, but we went. My father went around and rode around today and found another old boat landing that is private that we are going to get access to. So I'm going to be able to be out on the water again tomorrow. Let's see. Let's see. Glenn Shue, how you doing, Glenn? Ozark, how you doing? See, did I miss anything else? Nope. Yeah, Little Buckets of Sunshine. That's her YouTube channel. So Keith, I fish on hey Mike Sampson, sorry I missed you coming in. I was up there in the trying to read the old comments. I fish Moultrie, Stephen, mostly. Um, but these past two trips I've been on the Tail Race Canal, which runs into the Cooper River, which goes out to the Atlantic Ocean. So that's kind of where we grew up fishing that one. How was the fishing trip with the family? It was pretty good. Let's see. What would be a great night to do a weekly show where all of us can get together and tell stories and joke around? Well, what about now? I mean, shoot, it doesn't have to be the Palmetto Cat show. It could be the everybody show. Shoot, you know, doesn't matter to me. Let's see. Glenn's Catfishing Adventures. What's up? How you doing? Went out with Muskrat yesterday. I learned how to talk. What did that say? I learned how to talk and just smile. Sometimes that's the best part of fishing is just to get out and fellowship with like-minded people. Um, you know, my dad and I, we're different in a lot of ways, but the thing we wrap around the thing that we love to do is fish. And I have a younger brother that's super smart, and he does this thing, and I think him and my father have more in common as far as like personality. But when it comes to fishing, that's the one thing that kind of links my dad and I. So I'm trying to take advantage of it as much as possible. Not to be morbid or anything, but before, people talk about it all the time. I'm sure some of you have the same stories. I know Maurice does. That you never know when it's going to be the last time you get to go. So go as much as you can. Isn't that right, Maurice? Catfish Mania. Hey, Michael. I can't type. Mint will need to learn how to talk and not just smile. Not really. If you watch, what do you mean what happened? Did it go out? I hope not. If you look at most of my videos, there's not much talking. There's not much talking in it. I might do an intro and I might talk when I catch a fish, but there's not much talking. Hey Maurice, did you like the hat? That's the one I'm going to send you. Let me know if you like that hat. Oh man, this dog, she doesn't want the door closed. Oh man. Yeah, please share the live stream. Hit the thumbs up button. Somebody needs to tell my buddy Avid Fisherman to get his butt in here and talk to me. But hey, anybody got questions? On his show the other night, I kind of went over what my basic setup was. If anyone's got an iPhone, I think any iPhone it'll work on as long as it's got a front and back facing camera. There's this app called Mixcam, and I don't know if you can see it. Nope, you can't. Anyway, what it does is it'll film with both cameras. So like if you have a buddy that's caught a fish and you're trying to film them taking that fish in, or you caught a fish and your wife or somebody's on the boat filming you, like KB and Pop, that'd be a good one to download. You're kind of like vlogging at the same time, and you're filming them. I tried it out yesterday when my dad caught his second fish, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be a different camera angle, which is what I try to do. I try to, position my cameras and different in different ways, just to give a unique view and not be boring and have it the same spot the whole time. I'm not really into the chest cams. I did one camera with the chest cam on, but I'm a big guy, and just having something strapped to all your body isn't comfortable. Um, and again, oh, okay, Avid's at work. Thanks, Maurice. So, and again, if you're not comfortable, it's not fun. Hey, Whisker or Whisper, if you're not comfortable, it's not fun. And then why are you doing it? So I guess the biggest piece of advice I would give somebody like me, just starting out, barely any subscribers at all, is just to make sure you ask yourself those questions. Why am I doing this? Am I having fun doing it? And if I'm not, then what do I need to do next? Do I need to find a way to make it fun for me? Or do I just need to say it's not for me, and just fish? Not everybody has to be on YouTube. I don't have to be on YouTube. But it's at a point to where it's not hard for me to clamp a camera to a window or something and just click play and then pick up a camera. I was already taking pictures of my fish, um, and sharing them on my personal Facebook page. And I guess, one of the things that made me want to change that is just the fact that I was flooding Facebook with a bunch of pictures, and not a lot of my friends are fishermen or fisherwomen. And so, just to have something else there. I saw something sexy go behind me. Come on in and say hey. So that's Anna. This is my wife. She's going to be in the video coming out on Friday. It's called Honey Cats, and she catches a huge catfish that's almost as big as she is. Keith from Fishing and Stuff, the guy that goes today, he said to tell you thank you. I don't know. You got something to tell me, woman? Okay. All right. So Patriot James says hello too. Patriot James, she watches you every Wednesday, and she watches Lyle with me, and she sits there and bears it. I'm just kidding. So yeah, she watches Patriot James with me. She knows some of the names. She knows Dieter Melhorn's name. She knows KB and all them because I talk about you guys. She knows Maurice's name. So anyway, real supportive. My dad's starting to get into it. He saw the live stream on Friday with Avid. But anyway, Mike Sampson's in there a lot too. Yeah, Lyle. Anna watches with me all the time. I wish she's not bored. She's not bored, Patriot. So we don't have. Let me get this one thought out of my head. So we haven't caught as many catfish weeklies as we used to because our small group meets on Buckeye on Monday nights at 6:30, and sometimes we don't get out of there till 9 p.m. And Anna and I lead a small group through our church. So I've caught the last few, and I actually won hooks from Lyle on the last one, the 2 episodes ago, because with all this Corona stuff, they canceled our live streams. I mean, not our live streams, our small groups. So I was able to catch the live stream. And Catfish Weekly is on Wednesday night, which is my smaller small group. So sometimes I miss Patriot James, but again, I've been able to catch all of the shows the past few weeks, except for this last one that I missed the one James was on. Um, I did go back and rewatch it though. So if you have people that didn't make it in tonight, tell them they can always go back and rewatch. um, but no, Patriot James, she's not bored if she's watching you. We don't have cable. We got rid of cable about 8 years ago, and just because it's so darn expensive. And so all we do is YouTube and Netflix, basically. Um, we have Verizon, so we got a year free of Disney, the Disney app, and she loves that. And if I'm being honest, there's some shows on there, some movies on there that I like. They have some older shows that I grew up with on there. So Glenn's Fishing Adventures, good idea. We're doing a small group on Zoom now. Yep, we're actually doing that tomorrow night. So that starts at 7. And unless you buy the subscription to Zoom, then you only get 40 minutes. So we will probably be done in time for Catfish Weekly. And maybe I can go in there and win some other stuff. Lyle, what we talking about tomorrow? You got any guests on the show tomorrow? How about you, Patriot? Who's on for Wednesday? Get everybody excited about your shows. Yes, thank you, KB. If y'all wouldn't mind hitting the thumbs up. How about this? Does anyone else do Instagram or Twitter or Facebook? I have a Facebook and an Instagram that I share pictures to. Waiting on a call. All right. Hopefully it's somebody as interesting or more interesting than James, because that was a good show. That was a really good show. So I guess Avid is still working. Anybody else still working? Those of you who aren't retired. Like I said, I'm an assistant principal, and Zachary Taylor. Okay, I'm not sure who that is, but I'll look him up. I'm a high school assistant principal, so we had our last little pickup drop off work day last week, and we pretty much closed the schools down. Nobody's really going back. I think our principal's going back tomorrow, just to get the mail in, and then we have spring break next week, and then who knows? I know the rest of April's out, so I'm basically working from home, and I'm thankful. A lot of people say, how could you get into education? What are the benefits of being in education? Well, for one, I have a job that I don't have to go to, and I'm still getting paid right now. And I'm doing a lot that I can from home. I'm having meetings and things like that from home. But yeah, a lot of people aren't as lucky as I am, or as blessed. Fishing Impossible still working. Chad's still working. Kevin Nadu is still working. Geotechnical engineer. What is that? James Dockery is kind of working. Somebody finally realizes you're essential, huh, Michael? I know George is out for the year. It's not official, but I feel the same. I feel like it's going to happen. I think our governor's just waiting till the 15-day order is done, and then he's going to give new orders. So I don't want to sit here and talk about that, though. I've seen a lot of shows where that's all we've been talking about is COVID-19, and man, that's all you hear about from the break of dawn till the sun goes down is this and that. And while it's very real, it's very scary to some. You gotta take a break from it. You just gotta back off and just be normal. But anyway, let's see. I don't have this is my first live stream. Maybe Lyle or one of you guys in here, maybe James, can help me out on how you pick winners for stuff. Because I want to pick winners for a Palmetto Cat sticker. I just ordered a few more shirts. Also, if you're interested in getting some Palmetto Cats gear and you don't want to wait to win, if you go to my Facebook page, you can get some gear there. That'll help me out with making the channel better. They're not too expensive. I've kind of you have to set your profit margins on there, and they take most of the money, which Teespring is a business, and that's how somebody said too. um, so they make the stuff and ship it out. So they deserve the money. But if you want to help support me, you can go in there, and there's tank tops, hoodies, and t-shirts. I don't have any more of the hats. I made those hats. Got those hats made. They're kind of like this. They have the leather patch on the front. This is the one I'm going to send to Maurice. I've been promising him a hat forever, and now that I got his address, it might even go out tomorrow. But I'm going to send that out to him. I just ordered some more shirts. I make my own shirts, except for the ones I sell online. I make the ones that I wear, and I make them for like giveaways and stuff, and to help support people that have supported me. I've sent some stuff to Patriot, I've sent some stuff to Lyle, and KB and PD Fishing and some others on here, just because they've been my supporters since day one, and I want to honor that. I want to, or they're my supporters from day one, or they've shouted my channel out there on their channels. Like I sent something to Patriot James, and he wore the hat on his channel, and then gave me huge shout outs, and he shouts everybody out. But hey, Flint Hill, how you doing? Thanks, Mike. Have a good night, man. We'll see you in here next time, if there's a next time. But I sent Dieter Melhorn one out, and he's really good about plugging me whenever he wears a shirt. He calls it his lucky shirt. Anyway, but I'm gonna have some more in to what you call it, giveaway. I saw Patriot put random.com, but don't you have to enter people in? I thought there was something you could do within the StreamYard, but I guess not. Thanks, James. I appreciate it. I gotta remember, man. Like, I don't know if any of you are like me, but if you get idle hands and you're a little ADHD like me, you tend to get your hands on a lot of stuff. That's why, I have a YouTube channel. I'm very active in my church. We lead a group. We're on the faith team. We're on not the faith team, the production team and the worship team. And we both have full-time jobs and she gardens. And I used to coach a skeet shooting team. Oh man, it's a lot. It's a lot. And so, I have a hard time remembering stuff, but it's pretty cool. No, I'm not on YouTube. I am on StreamYard because I don't have 1,000 subscribers. So I might just have to do some kind of random.org type deal. If somebody wants to take the time to load up random.org, I'll let you run it for me. You just can't win anything. Sorry. Is that how you do it, Patriot? You put everybody's name in a randomizer? I'm not sure how to do it. Let's see. Anybody new come in here? You want a tea this weekend? Nope, I'm on my laptop. I do have a phone here. I do have a phone here. Lyle said yes. I forget what he said, what he's saying yes for. I'm on my computer. I'll tell you what, we'll do it this way. Let me find a question here. Let me find a question. What is on my let me see. Let me see. Trying to find a question that's fair. All right, I have a video that's called River Monster. In that video, it's a really short one. There's a river monster in that video. Whoever can tell me what that river monster was will win a Palmetto Cats decal. What was the river monster? Was not a gar. Justin's fishing fetish won. He won. He guessed it. It was an alligator. And so I tried catfishing that day, and I had caught one nice size channel cat. Well, no, it wasn't nice. It was like $10, $10, 10 pounds. Ooh. What day is it? It was like 10 pounds. And then, so I had the brim busters with me, and I had some worms. So I gave up, and I was just putting around with the trolling motor, looking for brim or shellcracker or whatever. And I came around the corner, and I saw this huge gator. I mean, the head had to be 3 foot long, just sticking out the water. And yeah, Justin did say that he's never won anything. So Justin's fishing fetish has won for the first time on the Palmetto Cats live stream. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. Just send me a message through Facebook and tell me your address, and I'll send you out a sticker. Lyle, 10 pounds, not $10. Sorry. It was not rigged. It was not rigged. But anyway, it was the head on the gator was at least 3 foot long. So I forget what the formula to that is, but I knew it was a huge gator. And so I was like, well, it's gonna, usually when you troll up on a gator or you ride up, they just kind of sink down, and they disappear. So I kept getting closer. I kept getting closer, and it didn't go away. And it got to where I was right up on it. And I was like, there's no way this thing knows I was here. And I was right. It didn't. So I wiggled my foot on the trolling motor pedal, and it just, I just went crazy and went underwater as fast as it could. And it scared the pee out of me. And there was a bass fisherman up about 100 yards, and he heard it and turned around. So I was like, yeah, it was just a gator. I didn't fall in the water or anything. But yeah, it was huge. Flint Hill says, I think I'm going to start fishing for catfish from an inner tube soon. Easier to get in the river than a kayak. Yeah. You wouldn't do you obviously aren't from where I'm from, because if you did that down here, you wouldn't have a rear end after a while. Uh, for instance, yesterday where we were fishing, um, is like a gator haven. Hundreds of gators, not hundreds, close to 100 gators pass through in there, come off the bank where they're, catching the rays. And yeah, you don't want to have a body part in the water, because it's anywhere from 2 feet to about 20 feet in this particular area, and it's just loaded, slap loaded with alligators. Um, I wouldn't even take a kayak in there, to be honest with you. I wouldn't take a kayak for two reasons. One, you can probably guess. There's not too many kayaks that 300-pound men should be sitting on. And then number two, um, I don't want my body parts that close to the water. So I did not give the gator a name. Um, did not give the gator a name. So sorry about that. So maybe if I come on next week, I can have something with the randomizer, because I do have a bunch of these stickers. And then when I get some shirts in, I'll you know I'll make some of those, and then I'll have those for some gear to win. Um, but I'm gonna put a challenge to you. Anybody that I send stuff to, I want you to take a picture of it, and I want you to post it to my Facebook page. Um, just as kind of like a thank you for putting out a prize for us to win, because I believe that's how you grow stuff. You get, like Patriot James said, you share the bait. You get stuff out there and you let people know. Um, and then, I'd love to have guests in here. That would be cool, just to sit here and shoot stuff. So I'll show you what I use real quick. This one's charging, but I can show you. So I thought I was fancy last year, and I got a GoPro Hero 7 Black. And this one, you can take the battery out of. Um, I bought a GoPro. I bought a GoPro on Craigslist, or it was Facebook Marketplace, and it was like a GoPro Hero, just a GoPro Hero. It was like $60, and it's okay. It's not a bad camera, but the sound quality isn't what I'd want it to be. And what you have to do to get the sound quality to be pretty good on those, you have to take the back, because they come in their own case, and you can't take them out of the waterproof case. You have to take the back off, and I have one somewhere. I just stopped using it to get a decent sound quality. So I went ahead and spent the money on a GoPro Hero 7 Black. Now they have the 8. And of course, if you're anything like me, you're a gadget guru, or not a guru, but you really want to you want like the next thing. Um, and being an adult, you think sometimes, well, I made that money, I can spend on what. Well, you have to slow yourself down, because I almost pulled out the debit card and bought the 8 as soon as it came out. But I was like, there's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with this camera. It's pretty good. So anyway, in that, I have a 256 gigabyte mini SD card. And some of you are probably saying, that is gigantic. Yeah, it is gigantic. But what I do with this camera is I hook a battery bank up to it, and I keep it running the whole time, because these batteries, if you have a GoPro, they don't last very long. Um, and that's how I get my takedowns. I take this battery bank right here, and I just hook it up to the camera. And sometimes it takes a little finagling to get it to stay filming, but I hook this camera up to it, and this is a solar charged battery bank too. But it's a tough tested one. It's waterproof. It's shockproof. They have videos where guys are like dropping this off of buildings and whatever. I bought it like 2 or 3 years ago, probably 3 years ago because we like to go camping. This will charge this laptop. It'll charge your phone about 20 or 30 times from dead. It has a quick charge. So you see the orange, I think that's the quick charge, and then the normal charge is on the bottom. And then on the side, you can charge the bank with a USB-C or a mini USB. So, that's pretty cool. Two ways to charge. And it's got a light too. I'm not even sure how the light works. Oh, there you go. You just hold it down. I don't know how to turn it off. There you go. But I'm sure it has a strobe and all that other stuff. But I hooked the camera up to this, and that's how I get the takedowns. I just have a camera running the whole time. And if you don't have a big memory card, then it's not going to keep filming. It's going to fill up the memory card, and then unless you have another one to put in it, you're done. And that will film constantly for 4 hours. So I can leave it running for 4 hours, and it saves the video files to 4 gig clips or 11-minute clips. And so what I do is, when I'm taking the footage off to edit, you can just fast forward through the entire clip. And if there's no fish being caught in the clip, you don't see the rod go down or you holding up a fish to the camera like we all do, then see ya, impossible. Then you delete it. So it is a little bit more work. But anyway. Yeah, you can set the GoPro for 20-minute loop, but it doesn't. You're not guaranteed to catch everything. But anyway, I use that one, and then I have another one, it's a GoPro 6 that I found on Amazon for cheap. I think they were having a sale, and I got it for like half the price. Yeah, I have a GoPro. No, it's a GoPro 5 Black, and I used that one for to film like after the takedown goes. Unless I'm by myself. If I'm by myself, that one camera is the only thing I use because I don't want to be holding a camera and reeling in the fish at the same time. And then if you heard me earlier, I don't like to strap anything to my chest or my head because you feel it on your head, and then when you're reeling up here, that's all people see is your hands, and I really don't like that. I don't think it's good video. I did something in one of my other videos where I separated it, and I had like a split screen or an image in an image. That it was pretty cool, but that all takes a lot of work to splice those together. And let me tell you what. So one thing that I've struggled with, or not struggled with, but wondered if I should be doing is should I have music playing under the entire video? I started doing that in my first videos, and I've kind of stopped because I feel like, you don't hear everything, you don't hear the nuances, you don't hear the nature in the background. And then at the end, when my credits are coming up, I put a scripture at the end of each of my videos. Hopefully, those of you who watch my videos are watching through the whole thing to get the message. But then I put a video on that, and so that's where I get to really bump up the sound and kind of make it high quality. But let me know, what do you think about that? Do you think that videos with music under the whole thing are better than just a plain old video with the organic sound? Let me know which ones you like better. Justin says he doesn't like music through the whole video. Noted. KB, I use iMovie because it's easy and it's native to my laptop. If you buy a MacBook, they come with iMovie on it, and it's pretty powerful. I have had a description to Adobe Premiere, which is one of those like Photoshop for video, but man, is it intense. Like you almost have to take classes to learn how to use that. And yeah, so it doesn't work as well on MacBooks, and I love MacBooks. I think they're so much easier to use. You plug stuff in and it just works. Like these AirPods, you put them in and it just works. You don't have to do anything. Um, so yeah. So let's see. People said Buckeye said I have videos, but I don't know how to edit it. Yeah, if you have an iPhone, you can download a version of iMovie. It's free. It's just not you don't have all of the tools to edit video when you do that. Um, so check that out. I'd have to look into what Android does, but I know even on an iPhone, if you don't want to download iMovie, there's an app that comes native to iPhones called Clips. And I've made some, like one of my videos where the one I made where it says "Come fish with me," where it's just the song throughout the whole thing, and it's just clips of the past year. Um, that was all made on my phone with the app Clips. So check that out. Who asked that question, or who said that? Let's see. Buckeye, yeah, check that out. Marie said outside. Patriot uses iMovie. Yeah, I've noticed that. Uh, I can tell. Like, if you use iMovie, you can tell when people are using iMovie because they have the same stock uh, frames and music that comes with it, and um, it's just you can tell. So, um, Justin says he likes hearing what's going on. Lyle says I like the natural sound except for starting in. Oh, me too. Um, KB says he's thinking of using Filmora 9. Okay, I'll check it out. Michael says not a fan of music in the whole, but it's your world. From the time, if you feel like you want to, you can go for it. Okay. Somebody agrees with Lyle. Justin does. Personally, I don't like music playing the whole time. I'd like to hear what's going on. Cool. Justin uses Vegas 13 to edit. Yeah. So that sounds. A lot of you guys sound like you agree with me that playing music the whole time is kind of distracting. So yeah, I'll just keep doing that. Let's talk about boat snacks and boat drinks. I'm a fan of the Diet Mountain Dew, but as I think I'm going to change that up. I got what I'm drinking right now is like flavored water. You get these little packets. I guess it's like Kool-Aid, and you just put it in your water. So I'm gonna kind of switch to that. But as far as snacks, what do you eat on the boat? What do you prefer? Are you just a water and fish kind of person, or do you have to have like Vienna sausages, or do you eat a lot on the boat? I know my dad used to pack. He called them nabs, peanut butter crackers, or any kind of crackers like that with the filling, and then potted meat. That's what he would have all the time. And so, whenever as a kid I'd get cranky, he'd say, "Grab a pack of nabs and shut up." James says tequila and beef jerky. No, come on. Buckeye says Gatorade. Maurice says salads. Come on. Are y'all kidding me right now? Maurice, do you really eat salads on the boat? Man, I'm sitting here talking about potted meat. I'm talking about tequila, which is expensive, and talk about drying you out and beef jerky. Ugh. Chad says standing tradition on the boat is a zebra cake. Yeah. Besides, I don't eat too much when I'm out, so I don't either. And without getting too graphic, is because I don't want to have to waste while I'm on the boat. Take that for what it's worth. Michael Morello, I have roasted duck with mango salsa. You guys are characters, man. Jay said carne asada steaks on boat for sure. Potted meat and Red Bull. Ooh. Man. I know you guys are kidding, but potted meat and Red Bull sounds like it might be plausible. Now, when I was younger, I owned a pontoon boat and we used to go out and party a lot. You know, and we used to have a little marine grill on the side of the boat, and we take some sausages out there and cook up some sausages. I do miss that, but I'm not I'm not cooking a cooking on my little boat right now. Let's see. Yeah, everybody wants to fish with Michael because he's eating roast duck. What is in the kitchen cabinet? No bananas. Why no bananas? I'm curious. Lyle says Vienna sausage smoke flavor. Bologna and cheese sandwich. Yeah. Coffee and zebra cakes all the way. Chad took sandwiches yesterday and some Johnsonville cheddar dogs. Yeah. So you must have a grill. That's pretty good. Yeah. That's in the plans. I want to get a pontoon boat. So one thing that I've had on my heart is to start like a fishing ministry. And I mentioned it on Lyle's show. And so, we have some house issues with our foundation and everything. And so I'm trying to be a responsible adult and not buy a boat until we're done with all the house stuff. So, you know, in the plans is a pontoon boat that I can take a bunch of guys out on from the church, or some guys that are new to Christianity, or some guys that we're just trying to introduce Jesus into their life. So hey, catfish and crappie. So that's in the plans, and on the pontoon boat, I'd like to have one of those marine grills like I used to have, and um, a lot of the reason we don't stay out as late as we want to fishing is because you just get so hot, and I don't have no bimini top for that for that boat. So it gets hot, and you know my skin doesn't react to the sun as well as it used to. So there's only so much sunscreen can do for you. Justin said pontoon is what I really want, trying to talk mama into letting me get one. Good luck to you, homeboy. But before I go, I kind of want to keep it to an hour and a half. I just want to encourage anyone, ask if anybody's got any prayer requests that they want answered, or if you have a good story you want to share. I don't know, maybe not share because we're on a live stream, but I really want to be transparent that I am, a Christian, and you'll never hear me talk about super inappropriate things. Um, I kind of agree with Patriot James, and that he doesn't really want to talk about politics on his show. We all have our opinions, we all have our preferences. So I'll try to keep that out of the light. I really don't want to talk about popular culture. The COVID-19 thing, we can we make references about it, and it has affected the lives of fishermen. I know in South Carolina, shoot, we were on the boat on a Saturday yesterday, and we probably saw 10 boats on the river, um, which on a Saturday down here, you can't get a line in the water where we were, because you would be swamped by pleasure boaters. And I really don't have anything against pleasure boaters. That they pay taxes, and they pay to go out in the water just like we do. Um, you know, but when you're trying to fish, it's tough. But anyway, I just want to be transparent and know that I will be talking about my faith a lot, and I'd like to share as much as possible. And I want everybody to know that, if you ever have any questions, you can just email me. I have a Gmail account. It's really easy. It's palmettocats@gmail.com. And then I can share with you my phone number, and we can talk if you want to. This catfishing community has been pretty cool. Um, it's hard to find like-minded people uh, in any interest, but especially one that's kind of like old school, I want to say. Um, fishing has been around for thousands, hundreds and 1,000 years, since the dawn of time. Jesus, half of his disciples are fishermen. Um, so, people have been fishing for a long time, but we haven't had to fish to survive in a long time. So it's kind of an old soul country type thing to do, especially catfishing and crappie fishing and brim fishing. People bass fish all over the United States, but you know, really being a cat fisherman or targeting the species or the species that we target is kind of like a niche. Uh, and so it's hard to find people to have intelligent conversations with that do the same thing. So I really want to bring not an intellectual at all, not a legalistic view to fishing at all. I believe, and I respect him 100%, but I believe Dieter does that enough for all of us, and he's good at it. But I just want to be able to have conversations where, we're talking about real stuff and we're talking about um, the fun and what it's like to be a fisherman, and to be a cat fisherman and share technique and share reasons why we do it, and to catch a bunch of fish while we're doing it. So anyway, that's really basically what I wanted to do. Um, and I really don't want to get too legalistic with the show. I want to be able to, and the reason Patriot, if he's still in here, the reason I said if I'm back, if I don't get a lot of good feedback from it, and I don't feel like it's something that's going to impact others, then I'm just not going to do it. Just to be honest, um, I don't feel like it needs to be something that uh, needs to change people's lives, but I do feel like it needs to have some kind of benefit. So you can show me that, by sending me an email or a message, or you can hit that thumbs up button. If you want to keep doing this on Sunday nights, you can let me know. And as long as my beautiful, stunning wife lets me continue, then I'm going to do it. Um, and Sunday nights are good because it really doesn't interfere with my faith. It doesn't interfere with my work too much. Um, just got to get things done. Usually Sundays are for worship and preparation for the next day and naps. I love my Sunday naps. Uh, who doesn't love their Sunday naps? But anyway, any questions before I go? Anybody have anything to add? Um, Topics for the next weekend? Special guests. If you'd like to be a special guest on the Palmetto Cats show, then send me a message. We can do that. One thing, I'll tell you what we're going to do next time. Get ready. Next Sunday night, we're going to have a contest. Yeah, we're going to have a contest on knot tying. That's right. So here are the 3 knots that we're going to do. We're going to snell a hook. Okay. We're going to have tie a fisherman's knot and one more. What other knot should we do? A polymer knot. Polymer knot. We're going to do a snelled hook, and we're going to do a fisherman's knot. Okay. So I want to have at least one person to come on and do that challenge with me. If you think you'd be good at the challenge, Patriot, I'd love to have you. Anybody in here, Justin, anyone that wants to be on. I'm not sure how many guests I can have on StreamYard. Looks like maybe 2 others I can have. So at least 2 people. We can have a knot tying contest. And why did I pick those 3? Because those are the 3 that I use all the time. So anyway, that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. Send me a message. The first two that send me a message will have on. Do not make sure you get. We need to use the same kind of line too. So what we're going to use is 50-pound test. 50-pound test. If you have, let's say 30 to 50. That way, if you don't have 50-pound, usually cat fishermen should have 30-pound. It's got to be monofilament, not braid, because I believe that's a whole different thing. So we're going to do a knot tying contest. One more time, here are the parameters: 30-pound test to 50-pound test. Hey, Skip, we're going to tie a Palomar knot. We're going to tie a fisherman's knot, and we're going to snell a hook. We'll do them all on hooks. How about that? All of those three will be on hooks. So start practicing. The first two to send me a message on Facebook that says you want to be in the challenge, let me know. I'll figure out how to send you a link to the show, and we'll do that. And let's see, we'll go live next Sunday at 8 p.m. So hopefully everybody will be there. Go ahead and start sharing it out. I'll go ahead and make an ad for it so you can start sharing it with your buddies and your wives and your sons and daughters and aunts and uncles. And we can get more. I think we got up to 18 people in here. So that was pretty cool. Thank you all for coming in. And if you haven't hit the like button, please go ahead and do that. Hopefully nobody's hit the thumbs down button. That really hurts your feelings when people hit the thumbs down button. I know some of you know what I'm talking about, but anyway, I just want to end with a prayer. So if you got a hat on, take your hat off, and we're gonna go ahead and pray. Heavenly Father, I just thank you for the opportunity to come on here tonight and talk to like-minded people and share in fellowship. Lord, we just pray for our country, pray for our leaders, pray for our president, our governors and mayors, that they will make the decisions that will keep everybody safe. Lord, I pray for everyone who is an American, that they would heed the orders sent down from our leaders, and that you would bless them, Lord, and that you would heal us of this pandemic that we have going. And Lord, I just ask that you bless the show. Lord, if it's something that you want me to continue doing, that you would do that. Bless everybody who's watching. Lord, I'm so thankful for them. I'm so thankful for this community that you provided. I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, everybody. Until next time, see you later.